Ooh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Look, when it comes to Tim Pool, I would expect nothing less than absolute waste when information regularly goes to die in Tim's pool of shit.
There's a place where loves go to die. Under the safety of the Phoenix watchline.
The song's about Tim, the dummy pool.
Tim full of shit, his intellectual void. The tunnels the voids, carved with the voids. Every night, and all you need to do is lick the wound of the riser. Tim full of shit, Tim sees no movements have nothing on it. Presents the foreign nations for the highest bid. Crippling mere look at the skin of his head. Whoever appeals to the law against his fellow man is either a fool or a coward. He who does so will be his fault. Such a melody. That's the shit on the next mentality. There's politics and chance to have a naturally. Good roulette, but that's about it. When you're swimming around and get full of shit. Just full of shit.
let my hair down right now, but it's braided. I did braids with my daughter today, so I've got an ounce of braid. Otherwise, I'd let it down.
I don't wanna be me. I don't wanna be me anymore.
right, everybody, we'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Thank you for joining us. Get a snack, as always. Hydrate, drink some water, but we'll be right back.
It truly was the road. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's me. I'm sorry. It's Hellion.Vision from the channel Hellion.Vision. Just wanted to let you know real quick that your style is bad. It's not good. It's really not good at all. But it's okay. I'm here to help. That's right. Designed by yours truly. It's time you got some clothes that rip as hard as you do, don't you think? Look at this fancy number right here. Look at this little number right here. Or how about this one? Yeah, you'd like to wear that, wouldn't you? Order this one, drape it over your nips, boom, it's Knit Miss. In all sincerity, I had a lot of fun designing these clothes. I want to do it a lot more, and it's a great way to support the channel. Oh, wait a minute, handsome viewer, I forgot to tell you. Channel members get discounts.
With the signal bar, they want your right to make a sound. Most of not
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, oh, yes. We are back. We are back in a big way. I appreciate everybody coming out to the stream on a Wednesday night. What? A Wednesday? Who does that? This guy. When your computer shits the bed on a Monday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, I love to see you all here. Kermit, Jerry, what's happening? Ikari, what's happening, everybody? Come on now. Love it, everybody. Ryder, what's happening? What's up, gang? All right. So we got a bit of a show here tonight, all right? I've been wanting to cover this story for 3 weeks now or something at this point. And boy, it feels good to be back, because who else would say things like Cloacathon every Wednesday? Ikari speaking the truth. Clapsmas. Merry Clapsmas. The Yakuza made a donation to the Japanese government to fix the water system. I'm starting to think that they're just like the game. If anybody else is feeling like that. Come on down to get your local cloaca. Come down to your local cloaca to get your deals today. Boy, howdy. It feels good to be showered in this cloaca talk. I don't like that I said that. As a matter of fact, I hate that I said it. Oh, did I hear a Tony? What's up? What did you say about cloaca feeling appropriate? Oh, Tony says when I say cloaca, it feels appropriative, because really, it's your guys' thing. And it's true. It's true. You guys have done a wonderful thing here, and I love you for that. It's like it's like Toyotathon, but cloacas. Indeed. Indeed. I'm appropriating cloaca culture. I sure am. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm doing it. That being said, we all, you know what? I was going to say what came first, the chicken or the egg. And I was going to say, obviously, the cloaca, but I don't like that I said that either. And that being said, let's talk about okay, this is getting off the rails. Now we're going, this is cloaca heavy, this conversation. Let's talk about what we're going over tonight, shall we? Look, I've been wanting to cover this story for a little bit now. I want to talk about one of the victims of fraud in Minnesota, because as I've been covering so much of that and talking about Nick Schiller's reporting, and things like that, I want to show you the actual people who have now been affected by the real cases of fraud, and how the people that are claiming to be concerned about that are not looking at this story at all. Oh, Ryder, you know, I never mind. If you gotta sleep, you gotta sleep. You know how it is, people. We skew older here, all right? I never blame anybody for a good sleepy time. That being said, we're going to be looking at this story of a woman who got evicted from her apartment because the apartment was under a medical service company. And essentially, they weren't paying their rent for X amount of time, and this lady gets evicted. It's pretty ruthless, like just the way it all happens. And I want to cover how this is, I find it so interesting that something like this, which you'd think would be something that they could manipulate into their propaganda, because the perpetrator of this crime is a Somali person, but obviously this is not indicative of Somali culture, people, or as J.D. Vance even said just the other day before the State of the Union, referencing Somali fraud, right? This is the sign of institutional breakage, and then also the sign of what's used as propaganda clear as day when somebody is actually there who needs help and they are not getting help. And we're going to look at, Minnesota's been invaded by ICE under the false pretense of stopping fraud. But what fraud has actually been stopped, we're going to see none of it has. And the only thing that is stopped is a reactionary measure to the political strong handing of the whole situation by Trump and his situation and his administration. So all that said, let's dive into this first story. After that first story, by the way, just so you know, it's not all doom and gloom tonight. That's going to be our first story. It's heavy, it's real. But then after that, I want to talk to you guys about the smart fart underpants that are being released. Okay, it's finally happening. Smart technology is reaching the rectum. And in addition to that, we have plenty of other things to laugh at. So basically, we're going to do that big story up top, and then we have lots of fun stuff after that. The New York Police Department getting pelted by snowballs and complaining about it like some crime happened to them. We got all sorts of fun stuff like that. Okay, so let's dive into this and let's get this reality out of the way here so we can distract ourselves a little bit after it. But let's acknowledge the real victims of everything that's gone down here. So while Nick Shirley has made his little stops in these places basically to make propaganda pieces and then get the fuck out of there, the people at Care 11, which is a local Minnesota news station, have been doing a really good job documenting the fraud and the local Minnesotans who are affected by it and what's actually going down there and what needs to be changed. So it's pretty crazy. Nick Tipsy swear he's drunk. I know, right? So, he's in California now doing his thing. He just made some dumb post the other day or some video talking about a UPS store. And he's like, how come all these addresses are here at the UPS store? All these individuals claim to live at this address, and it's an apartment building. Anyway, we obviously are aware of the methods that they use to sort of create inauthentic propaganda. So let's get this rocking and rolling. And the nice thing we're going to see about this is a lot of people cared about this story when it dropped, a lot of actual real people. So we're going to see people that, people want to reach out to this person and try to help. And I will update us as there's any updates on that. But this is the story that was released by Care 11, and it documents a disabled adult who is evicted from their apartment as their rent payer, who was a medical service, is caught up in this fraud investigation here. So let's go over this. We're going to see basically a story of an innocent woman who is victim to all of this going down, and an institution, a whole system that does not know how to care for these people and does not treat human beings as human. So this person basically gets evicted and becomes homeless without any assistance from the government, and they're kicked out by the police. So let's go over the story. So evicted, homeless, paying the price for Minnesota's fraud crisis. And basically let's start with the video here, because the video's pretty wild. Let me make sure I got this volume going for you guys.
On the streets. Tonight, Care 11 investigates the impact of Minnesota's fraud crisis on the innocent victims, betrayed by the very system that was supposed to give them care. Here's AJ Legault with the latest in his continuing investigation, Housing Hustle.
All right, so again, before we even let this play, the framework of this whole thing is it's a local Minnesota news station, and they've been doing about 8 months of following and reporting on this one particular case.
Minnesota.
Winter in our city is unforgiving.
And I don't know where my boots are.
Snow-packed streets. And cold? Cold. That punishes.
My eyes.
You wouldn't know it, though.
Yeah.
To meet Janelle Hansen. She goes by the nickname Sky and is, through no fault of her own, homeless.
I suppose I'm coming up on 6 months.
It's now actually been 8 months. Sky allowed Kara Levin to document her journey.
It's really annoying to live in your car. It is so annoying.
Depending on the weather,
I was so cold and so tired.
we found her staying in tents.
And I was cold. I was cold while I was sleeping.
It's not always easy to find a place inside to lay her head. If she can find an open bed, she stays in shelters. When she has the money,
Hey, can I do...
So one thing, I think a lot of people, when they think of homeless, they don't, they have a thought in their mind of people who are like addicted to drugs or, did some crime. A lot of times homelessness is associated with criminality. And this is a really great example of somebody who just disproves that stereotype right there. Something to keep in mind as we go through this as well.
Do late checkout. I almost got my stuff out.
cheap hotels.
I think I just got kicked out of the hotels for being too autistic.
Sky's autism and the care she was supposed to be getting brought Minnesota's social services fraud crisis straight to her door.
We're here for the eviction.
It's June 2025. Sky
Okay, so Minnesota fraud crisis. This is basically a project that's going on in Minnesota now, aggressively cracking down on fraud because of the attention that's been brought to it lately. Right now, this is a good thing. It's good that fraud is being addressed, but we're about to see what's happening is bad because the pressure has been so high to move so fast on these situations. There has not been thorough assistance giving to people who have been caught up in the medical fraud, who are innocent victims of it. Now, this is why you do things surgically, and you don't just take a hammer to everything instantly all at once as a response to all this stuff, right? There's a big problem here, a big institutional problem, but you can't be kicking people out like this. So again, this is basically a team that's now tasked with investigating fraud and following up on it. And we're going to see how basically the victim who's caught in the middle of that fraud becomes a victim twice over.
lives in a very nice apartment in Minnetonka when sheriff's deputies arrive.
I'm scared.
Armed
What?
with an eviction order for Jane or John Doe.
We go by the latest court order that says we have to evict you from the premises.
Sky lived here as part of a Medicaid program called Integrated Community Supports, or ICS. It's designed to help adults with disabilities live independently in their own apartment with one-to-one daily assistance.
Doesn't matter, at least that shows that I have the right to live here.
Sky subleased the apartment from her caregivers, a company called American Home Healthcare LLC, which in turn held the master lease with the apartment complex. Sky said she'd paid her rent to American Home, so didn't understand what was happening.
But I'm not Jane or John Doe. That's what's confusing.
Sky ordered to pack up what she could carry
Grab what you've just packed because we need to exit the apartment now.
and get out.
We need to go. Come on.
Okay.
We need to go.
Let's go.
How are you?
Go.
Okay, sorry.
Set out to the hallway.
Okay, Josh.
And like that, a vulnerable young woman put on the street.
Bye, house. Bye, house. What's about
So, like, absolutely brutal. Kermit, yeah, houseless, actually. You're right. Thank you. I should be saying houseless rather than homeless. You're absolutely correct on that. Thank you for that. Now, here's my thing. I mean, just look at the now, this is why you don't have cops doing this shit. Look at this,
young
like,
woman.
look at this person as she's escorting her out. Like, she has no time to actually be doing this. She has no time. She needs assistance. I mean, like, first of all, like a regular eviction, I feel like Kermit, yeah, I mean, even if it was, it's all good. But that's a good way to phrase it. Houses, I think, is better. Even I think in like a regular eviction situation, like they would be given time at least to get out of there. Like, I don't necessarily know how evictions work 100%, but I can't imagine the process is that, you know, cops just come in and drag you out of there. And it breaks my heart to hear saying, like, you know, bye-bye house. Like, this person's life is here. I mean, they can't get everything out of here. They can't get everything out of here. Come on.
Go.
Okay, sorry.
Out to the hallway.
And like that,
What do you say? Talk to the hallway or some shit? Did that cop just tell her to talk to the hallway? What the fuck, man? Like, so this, again, this is a person who's not done any fraud, but is facing the immediate punishment. And this government is not assisting them and is not helping them at all, is just kicking them out. And these, you know, cops are not trained to be
a
helping.
vulnerable young woman put on the street.
Bye, house. Bye, house. $100.
How could this have happened? Our investigation finds it's
She sounds
tied
so scared
to
and shit.
Allegations of Medicaid fraud now rocking our state.
Hold on, my left side doesn't work very well.
Kane Pence was one of Sky's neighbors in the same ICS program. He first contacted Care 11 in May 2025 after seeing our Recovery Inc. investigations expose fraud in Medicaid programs for those battling addiction and homelessness.
I call the whole thing Handicap Inc.
He said people with disabilities were being similarly exploited.
It's a complete and total scam.
Kane said American Home Healthcare was being paid a lot for doing very little.
$276 a day. That's every single day.
Every day. Kane's records show his Medicaid was charged, claiming he was getting service for nearly 8 hours.
You talk about an utter and complete fraud. I couldn't get people to carry out the trash.
Records show American Home billed on September 14th, 2024, when Kane has photographic evidence
Now you can look at the date here. It should be time stamped.
proving he was on a retreat all weekend in Lake Elmo. They billed on August 25th and 26th, when photos prove he was in Iowa, out of state.
That's absolute proof. They billed the full amount. They just billed the full amount every single day. I wasn't even in the damn state. Nobody even checked on me. So they're claiming they're giving me service.
I love this guy.
If I was dead in Missouri, they wouldn't have even known.
I don't know.
For Sky,
I'm autistic, so I don't really.
it was the same story.
I don't know.
What Sky didn't know was American Home billed Medicaid $421 per day, claiming they always helped her for 12 hours.
Most days was like 2 hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours.
Medicaid data shows since
That's crazy. So basically, they're billing every single day, no matter what, and people just come in and help them for X amount of time. Like, you know, they're not worried about it. They're just going through Medicaid, and they're grabbing the money from it, right? Fucking shitty fucking thing to do, especially since you're basically leaving people with no assistance when they need the assistance, and you're billing for that assistance. So that is wildly fraudulent, right? And that does need to be stopped. Why then does this news organization have the most information on this rather than any investigative authority, right? Why is this person being evicted by the police with no follow-up to investigation, no follow-ups for support, anything like that? You know, it's insane.
2022, American Home was paid more than $2.2 million in public dollars. The Minnesota Department of Human Services didn't cut off funding until September 2025, the same day Kane went to the Capitol and publicly testified in a House fraud hearing.
$276 a day in my case, and they don't do jack. They do nothing.
The company
I
is
love that
owned
guy.
by this guy, Jama Muhammad. He never responded to Care 11's interview requests, so we went looking for him.
This house is apparently the headquarters for American Home Healthcare.
The house has an indoor basketball court.
Insane. So this guy's a shitbag. Now, again, it's just the kind of thing where I am shocked that I don't see the right-wing grifters covering this because you think they would instantly scapegoat this guy. This is an individual doing a fraudulent thing, and demographically, Minnesota's population has a higher percentage of Somalians. So, yeah, there's this one guy doing it. This does not indicate anything about a monolithic desire to be fraudulent within a whole race. That is wildly racist, and to call this Somali fraud is insane. Now, this guy is a piece of shit. I mean, there's just no other way around it. This guy is a piece of shit, but he is not a reflection of the entire community.
And is located in a high-end Maple Grove subdivision. We left a message directly on the ring cam.
We have some questions about allegations of fraud and kickbacks.
Under federal and state law, kickbacks in Medicaid programs are illegal. This state bulletin specifically says an example of a potential kickback in ICS programs includes covering or paying a portion of a recipient's rent. Clients say that's exactly what American Home was doing.
So they give you a rebate on the rent.
Kane spelled out the alleged kickback in that legislative fraud hearing.
And within 5 days, they make up for it by charging for all these services that they don't give.
Court records show American Home got evicted from the apartment complex for not paying rent as they came under investigation, even though tenants were continuing to pay their share directly to American Home.
Okay, let's go. Come on. Here, go push this.
That's how a confused Sky came to be escorted out of her home by sheriff's deputies as Jane Doe.
And made it look like I didn't pay.
On this day, Sky hanging out in the Hennepin County Law Library.
My brain likes to have a hard time with it, but
She's trying to figure out
we just do our best.
how to get the eviction off her record in hopes she'll eventually find a new place to call home.
They say that your home is in your heart.
AJ, it's just hard.
Yeah, I mean, so the whole thing's fucking insane. It's a terrible situation. And the main focus should be on the support for the people who are affected by that, because not only is this one person, Sky, affected by it, but like anybody else who is living in that apartment complex and made to look like they weren't paying rent is now affected by it. Now, you think the right-wing grifters would hop on this immediately. You think that, Trump would immediately hop on this, support that person with funds or whatever, but nothing. Now, the other thing about this is further in the article, I believe, there's extra detail in here that wasn't in the in that video. Okay, so this is already about kickbacks, right? This is about kickbacks being a federal crime. So a DHS, and this is Department of Human Services in Minnesota. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. This is the Department of Human Services in Minnesota when I say DHS here, okay? So DHS correction order dated August 27, 2025, tied to a licensing inspection from earlier in the year, verified Pence, that's the guy we saw in the video, the disabled guy who testified. Pence claims the company was billing for services on dates a client was out of state. The dates in question matched the billing and photographs Pence provided to Care 11. And at that licensing investigation that was underway, court records show that American Home Healthcare was evicted from Minnesota apartment complex and that they were using the ICS facility. Again, that facility that is set aside specifically for medical assisted living. So both Pence and Sky were paying their rent, and the eviction against American Home Healthcare is what led the sheriffs to going out there and evicting Sky out of the home. Now, this is where, my big problem with all of this lies, because get the fraud, that's fine. Go after this guy, but all of these people need support now, and that support should come from the government. I'm sure, it's fine for it to come out of our taxes, especially when if they get this criminal, you order him to pay all sorts of shit. You fine him, you order him to pay back the stuff. But this is a testimony from Minnesota State Oversight hearing, where it was said that Jonah Geis, who's a legal advocate for the Minnesota Disability Law Center, said, over the past months alone, I've supported over 30 clients facing service termination from their community integrated ICS setting. These people are ending up on the streets. The vast majority of my clients have ended up in emergency rooms, homeless shelters, or their parents' basement or other segregated settings. So we have a influx of people who are going to be experiencing houselessness from this situation, who are not going to be receiving any services or support because social services for the homeless are frowned upon, basically. And the fraudster is still not caught. So there's just more to this being about a broken system rather than, Somalians across the board do fraud, right? So, okay, there was an editor note here, and this is what I wanted to follow up on. The response to Sky's story has been overwhelming. Many of you have asked how you can help. There are now formal efforts underway to present Sky with supportive housing options and legal assistance. And decision about the next steps will be Sky's to make. Thank you for caring. So we will, I will follow up and see if there's anything that we hear about that. But I would imagine, I don't know why we haven't heard right wingers talking about this. That's the thing that's kind of fascinating me, and it leads me to believe that even more that this has just always been about the racist framing of things, the rage bait, the money that's made off of inflaming these situations, and not about the actual support that's needed for communities. This is a community issue. This is a local issue that needs to be handled by locals in that community, local officials in the community. So all in all, I just think it's an awful situation. We'll hear more about if there's anything we can do to support or anything like that. But I wanted to cover that. I thought it was, to really get a full scope of everything that's going on there, because there is fraud happening, and people need to know about it. Now, the thing that we're gonna start that ties into this basically is situations like this that make it worse and leave no room for support, because Minnesota federal prosecutors are all basically resigning because of what's going on in Minnesota. The lead prosecutor of the Feeding Our Future fraud case has resigned. And a lot of this is because of the pressure to get these things solved fast and take them down with sledgehammers, rather, regardless of the collateral damage, for maximum publicity, from actual visual impact for the people who are using this as leverage for their careers. So this is reporting out of St. Paul. This is from KARE 11 as well. St. Paul, Minnesota. At least 7 more federal prosecutors in Minnesota have resigned or intend to resign. The new wave of departure comes just weeks after Joe Thompson, the lead prosecutor in the high-profile Feeding Our Future fraud case, announced his resignation over concerns with the U.S. Department of Justice, according to sources. Now, again, if you're not familiar with the Feeding Our Future case, it is the biggest case of fraud, medical fraud in Minnesota at $250 million, masterminded by a white woman named Amy Bach. I believe that's her name, Amy Bach. So again, this is not Somali fraud. This is fraud, medical fraud, And it needs to be addressed as such and dealt with as such. The New York Times reported Thompson and other prosecutors stepped down over the DOJ's reluctance to investigate the agent who shot Renee Good, as well as an alleged push by the DOJ to investigate Good's widow. KARE 11 later independently confirmed the report. So, the actions of ICE, who are supposed to be in Minnesota as some sort of force to stop fraud. I don't know why. The whole framing of Operation Metro, whatever, was that they needed more agents there to stop the fraud. because the fraud is exclusively Somalian or something, right? And so lots of people just ate that up. It really worked well in the propaganda machine because people love the idea of confirming their bias against Somalian people. But when we look at the actual impact that this careless approach to all this shit does, it gets you people leaving the cases that we need investigated, right? Because they're being forced by a propaganda arm to investigate Renee Good's widow, which is insane. You know, people will advocate and they will be like fans of that sort of thing. But they have no actual interest in justice. They are just concerned with pushing their belief onto others. And part of that belief is they, you know, want to see queer people. They want to see anybody who's not like them, anybody who's not conservative, you know, Christian, whatever. They want to see them punished and in as much pain as possible. I think we really live in a time right now where there's certain people who really enjoy seeing others in pain, you know, who really enjoy seeing minorities being subjected to brutality. I think we live in a time where people are really into that. And there's always been people who were really into that. But now we're on the internet and those people can connect. So Thompson has been a key player in the prosecution of fraud in Minnesota. He served as the lead prosecutor in Feeding Our Future fraud scheme, which included securing the conviction of the organization's executive director and so-called mastermind, Amy Bach, in a federal trial last year. Most recently, Thompson announced additional charges in federal investigators' wider fraud investigation, stating that 14 Minnesota programs designed to disperse Medicaid funds are now being investigated for significant fraud that could total in the billions of dollars. So they're losing this guy because of the actions of Trump's administration, quite literally. Among the most recent waves of resignations is Dan Bobbier, who was supposed to take over for Thompson in prosecuting fraud statewide. Alan Slaughter and Anna Voss. Slaughter was involved in prosecuting former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin, and Voss had been working in cases involving federal immigration officers. Quote, "It is a really sad day because it's very bad for the rule of law in Minnesota," said Doug Kelly, who once led the white-collar crime division in the Minnesota U.S. Attorney's Office. "They have dedicated their lives to public service, and now they've been forced to leave because their consciences will not let them stay. That is a very sad thing." So this is literally the direct result of the Trump administration and the Nick Shirley videos. It's the opposite of what they claimed to want. They wanted to stop fraud. They said, this problem is so bad, we need to go down there and send armed troops. We need to send fucking jackboot thugs down there. For what? I mean, now we're paying, like, you think billions in fraud is bad? We're about to be paying, first of all, look at my, if you think that's bad, watch my video on 5.6 billion in police misconduct over the past 5 years alone, over the only top 20 cities. We lose insane amounts of money on all sorts of fucking bullshit. These ICE detention centers, these deportations, right? It's never been about the money for people. And it's never been about the victims of fraud like Sky or people like that. It's always been about perpetuating the racist stereotype. It's always been about having a tool of propaganda. That's all it is through and through. There's fraud, it happens. There's criminal elements in every society. 3.4% of immigrants are criminals. I think it's something like that. 3.4% of all total immigrants are criminals. 3.8% of natural-born citizens are criminals, okay? So, like, holy shit. We're all the same. We are literally the same. Most people aren't heartless scumbag fucks like this fraudster who got Sky evicted. Oh yeah, Kermit. The Minnesota assault resulted in like 9 million per actual criminal deported. Yeah, and I don't even know if that's like for actual criminal. There were so many deportations that were not, and even detention. It's all expensive. It literally like, look. You could take. Let me. I'm gonna square up for this. I'm gonna square up for this, gang. All right. This is me pulling my seat up backwards. Look, okay? You could take any human angle out of this. You could take every humanitarian angle out of the equation and say, I don't give a fuck. I like to see people deported. Cool. Okay. Fuck you. But if you're complaining about money, it's way more expensive to deport people, to wrongly deport people, and to deport any non-criminal. You're not a criminal if you're in this country. It's a civil violation. If you're crossing the border, yeah, that's a federal crime if they catch you crossing the border. But if you're already here, we have a rule of safe seas. All right? That's just the way it is. And, you know, I'm fucking fine with that. I don't, frankly... How we lose so much, incalculable amounts of money to fucking government waste every fucking day. Kash Patel went to the goddamn Olympics with the U.S. Olympics team and chugged a beer, $400 million for that private jet to fly out there and take him out there. And I'm sure he had a little per diem. I'm sure he gave himself a little per diem. You know, spends to get a nice dinner. People don't care about this shit for real. And if I even bring that up, that 400 million that like Kash Patel spends on private jet to go get a fancy dinner and go to the U.S. hockey game, they're going to be like, oh, I don't care. Because he should celebrate. It's fucked. I wish I had a better, tighter wrap on this, but nah, it's fucked, man. You know, a lot of things are a little fucky right now. So that is, that's never fun, but fuck it. Let's have a little fun with it. Let's cleanse the palate of that bad shit. Yes, fuck the U.S. men's hockey team, Big Jerry. I'm 100% with you. Especially since I'm a Devils fan. I'm a Devils fan. I gotta see Jack Hughes going out there sucking Trump's dingling. Come on now. Come on now. Trump does not deserve a toothless dingling suck. He has not earned it. Anyway, that being said, fuck the U.S. men's hockey team, and fuck them big time during the State of the Union address. Fuck that guy during the State of the Union, or fuck that guy. That guy being the men's U.S. hockey team during the State of the Union address. They are absolute pawns. That's going to be such a weird history book entry if we have a history ahead of us. So, anyway, let's talk about some chair drama, gang. What? Chair drama? Yes. You know. You know. Oh, shit. Did I get the wrong article here? Yeah, I did. Hold on. Fuck, man. Did I lose that article? Did I lose that article? Yeah, I sure did. Fuck it. We're not going to do chair drama. Never mind. Chair drama sucks. We would want to do that anyway. But we're going to do Kid Rock's $5,000 concert tickets. How about we do that, gang? Because Kid Rock's, he's a hot little potato right now. You know, everybody knows who Kid Rock is. Everybody is singing his famous song, Bang, Bang to the Dang, to Dang, to Bang, Diggy Diggy. Yeah, Kermit, I'll refine that chair drama. You know I'm going to serve you guys the hottest chair tea William, what's happening? Thank you so much for joining us. And you are just in time for a fresh section. Oh, Tom, what did the U.S. men's hockey team do during the State of the Union last night? Oh, so they were just brought in. The men's hockey team was just basically brought in during the State of the Union. And Trump was like doing a big round of applause for the boys. And, you know, they were all just like, hooray, like we're USA, all this USA chant. They didn't like go in there and like say anything specifically, but they were just used as pawns. Oh, and I think Trump is giving one of them like a medal of peace or honor or some shit. I don't fucking know. William, we're doing good. We're doing good. I hope you're doing good too, because you arrived just in time for a little Kid Rock talk. That's right. I'm not talking Epstein, baby. I'm talking the original. The Daddy-O. Yeah, they licked the boots. It's messy, messy, messy. Indeed. Indeed. And the women's team didn't go. Big ups. Self-respect. I hear there were like 5 guys on the men's team that didn't go. Big respect to them. You know. Oh, yeah, we're doing Kid Rock, baby. Now, I want to, before we even get into Kid Rock here, there's one thing. You know, Kid Rock, he's not relevant. He's not relevant. Now, this is, oh, YouTube's, yeah, okay, Akari, so YouTube's taking chats away big time tonight? That's what Ajax was saying. He was saying it was a crazy night. He's saying it's a crazy night for that shit. They're just doing emojis only. But look, here's the thing with Kid Rock. He's such an interesting fella because he's a rich guy donning the attire and the, culture of like poor people. Right. And then the other thing that I simultaneously want to talk about is I do think like the criticism of Kid Rock has to be based around his cosplay of these things rather than these things themselves, right? Like I hear a lot of comments about Kid Rock's music, and I find some of them funny, right? Like, you know, as somebody who's had these like grown up with this humor and stuff, I read some of them like, oh, tee-hee, and then I have to think about it for a second and go, wait a minute, what is this actually saying, right? So like Kid Rock, I'll see comments being like, Kid Rock's music is like for people who have cinder blocks in their yard or something like that, right? And then like, I'll think about it, I'll be like, wait a minute. Like, those are not people to be ashamed of, like, you know, they're people who are in financial straits. People that are like suffering financially should not be mocked for that. This motherfucker should be mocked for being a cosplayer. Oh, okay. Akari, he was raised in a gated community. Yeah, like, and so my biggest critique of Kid Rock is that he is the arm of the billionaires to reach into a different like class and be like, oh, we can, you know, put the Kid Rock concert, like, you know, Trump and these motherfuckers, they don't like Kid Rock. They don't like Kid Rock's music. Did I hear about Megyn Kelly going, ACO going after AOC because she used to be a bartender? Jesus Christ. Megyn Kelly is cognitive dissonance in human form. Like, somebody goes through the things that she's gone through in her life and then immediately is like such a piece of shit to others. Oh God, I hate Megyn Kelly. He wore poor face. Akari, that's a great way to say it. He does like poor face. Yeah. The way country music stars cosplay blue collar people who can't financially find upward mobility is criminal behavior. Clown-like behavior. Yeah, William, 100%. 100%. It's so like inauthentic. And I think that's why a lot of people have trouble connecting. Like, you know, and they're always like, conservative music sucks generally. And I think that's generally because a lot of it has to be inauthentic, you know, to be a hardcore conservative. You have to go against things that logically make sense and that have been proven time and time again. AOC was ripped apart like 10 years ago for the bartending thing. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Megyn Kelly must have done it again. Tom, did Megyn Kelly just bring it up again about AOC? Like, trying to be like, oh, AOC tended a bar once, so, like, what, are we going to listen to her? To be fair, I'm a little disappointed in the Dems yesterday anyway. Like, I would have liked to see some more civil disobedience up, and there's a little more messaging. Al Green, of course, laid it down, brought the black people are not apes sign. That's always cool. But I would have loved to see a little more. Always ask for more. People are supposed to represent us. Always ask for more. So anyway, Kid Rock predicts God will cut down journalists for reporting accurately that he's charging up to $5,000 for tour tickets. Now, I don't think there's a chance in hell. I mean, even though he's riding on the high on the culture wave for the Republicans right now, there's no way in hell. Who's going to pay $5,000 for a Kid Rock ticket? I'm sorry, that's not happening. Yes, William, yeah. Al Green always comes with something prepared, you know? And I at least like him for that. You know, everybody comes with their little pins or whatever, and it's like, get in their fucking faces, man. Like, interrupt them so that this motherfucker can't just sit there and lie for an hour and a half. Or if he does, it's annoying as hell. Like, break his ego. Like, holy shit. So Kid Rock, anyway, yeah, Kid Rock is saying God will cut down journalists reporting that he's charging up to $5,000 for tour tickets. So Kid Rock wasn't kidding around when he sang about finding Jesus to conclude the recent Turning Point USA Alternative halftime show. I don't think he was kidding around when he said bounded to bounded, dang to bang, diggy diggy. Yes, Tom. Okay, Tom, great. Yes, the only war we need to concern ourselves with is a class war. Yeah. Oh, I see. Because of AOC's speech in Munich with the SPD party members. I see why. Okay. Yeah, the class war is the most important thing. The war is not left and right. It's up and down. 100%. Because, like, look, as I'll hate on conservatives all day for their beliefs and shit, but, like, at the end of the day, I still have more in common with them than the billionaire class. They still have more in common with me than the billionaire class. We all have more in common with each other. We generally just want to have families, friends, and stay out of, and, like, people that don't bother us. That's basically what every single person wants. So anyway, Kitty Rock, KR, got religious again on social media Friday. Although this time he's talking about divine judgment through God being enacted on journalists who reported the price on his premium concert tickets. So the singer-rapper, and I think even labeling him as that is generous, but the singer-rapper said that he will pray for members of the media who made headlines out of the $5,000 top cost for the first-class tickets to his Freedom 250 tour. But he added the Almighty will have the last word on their fate. Now, I'm not a believer. I'm not a man of religion. But if God listens to Kid Rock, strike me down now. I cannot do it. I have no business in any afterlife. No. Destroy me. God cannot be a Kid Rock fan. So Kid Rock says, I will pray for them, but I know that sooner or later God will cut them down, Rock said, referring to members of the media who reported on his ticket prices. The fake liberal media says, I'm charging $5,000 for front row tickets, he wrote in his message, before going on to confirm $5,000 is indeed what he is charging for the top face value tickets to his upcoming shows. The issue, he said, was context. They know damn well that's not the full story. Instead of reporting facts, or that lawn seats are only $50, or how we are cutting out the scalpers, They twist it for the headlines, clicks, and to attack me. Nothing new here. $50 for lawn seat at Kid Rock is too much. I'm just going to say it. That's too much. I mean, lawn seats, man, back in the day, 25 bones, couple 25ers, you'd get on the lawn. But if they paid me $50, I would. I would go. If they paid me, no, I wouldn't. I'll pay them $50 to not go. They might be onto something. He explained how many he has set aside, 20 first-class tickets for each show in the $1,000 to $5,000 range. The quote, those are extremely limited first-class seats, like I explained. 4 tickets per row. First 5 rows only, $5K per seat, row 1, $4K row 2, $3K row 3, $2K row 4, $1K row 5. So yeah, no, this is true. Again, only 4 seats in rows 1 through 5, 20 first-class seats in venues that hold 15,000 to 25,000 people. Although there are only 20 seats per show in that premium class, if he sells all of them, it will add a significant amount to his nightly tally. Other seats in the first 9 or 10 rows at Rock's upcoming tour are priced at $500. So if he sells those 20 seats for the advertised $1,000 to $5,000 prices, they'll provide a bump of $50,000 per night, above and beyond what he would have brought in pricing them at $500, like other nearby seats. No additional VIP perks are being offered for the first-class seats beyond their centrality and proximity to the stage. Yo! No, these reporters were 100% right. What the fuck, dude? Yo! You don't even get a meet and greet? You don't even get a signed, like, nothing? You don't get to sniff his weird fedora? What? Like, to be fair, every band offers shit like this. So many bands offer packages like this, a VIP package, but you get that seat and you get, like, another thing. You get, like, a picture. Like, people want to have their, like, hover hand picture around Kid Rock. What the fuck? This is insane, man. Here we go again. The fake liberal media says I'm charging $5,000 for front row tickets. They know damn well that's not the full story. Those are extremely limited first class seats, like I explained. 4 tickets per row. Yeah. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's just... There's no taste in anything these guys do. And who the fuck are these openers? John Party, Parker McCollum, Brantley Gilbert, Big and Rich, Them Dirty Roses. Them Dirty Roses. Jeez Louise. Is anybody... So, $50 lawn seats for the tour do offer an affordable alternative for the fixed seats. But I mean, is anybody biting, or are fans content to settle for second or third class status? I mean, who's even gonna fucking go to this thing? I don't understand it. I like that there's philosophy chat going on in the chat. I see that. It's too smart for me. Oh, you guys are the best. William, you are correct. Akari is the bomb. Akari, thank you. Do please like the stream, share it, do any of that stuff, engage. I always forget that shit. Please do that stuff. It's good for you. It builds character. Anyway, further down the road in May 8th in Raleigh, North Carolina, none of the 5,000, 4,000, or 3,000 seats in the first 3 rows has yet sold, but 2 of the 4 $2,000 first class seats have been snapped up, and all 4 of the $1,000 tickets in the 5th row have been claimed. At the non-premium level in Raleigh, the large blue swaths of $500 remain available, but $200 seems to be the price that is right for many fans, as a good number of rows in the front section at that price point have completely sold through. I mean, this is just crazy. I'm impressed. I'll be totally fair to Kid Rock. I'm impressed he even sells $500 tickets. And it sounds like he at least sells some of it. So, like, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. Kid Rock's irritation with members of the media comes despite him. Oh, yes, by the way, if you're not in our Discord, please join our Discord, and you want to hang in our Discord, I will drop it in the chat for all people who want to hang. I just can't believe Kid Rock is selling tickets at all. Like, holy moly. Anyway, there's our Discord link. Please join and hang out if you like to philosophize or listen to music or do any of that shit. We do a lot of stuff. We hang out. We talk about a lot of things. We do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, what the fuck am I saying? I don't know. But anyway, we are all familiar with the shirtless Robert F. Kennedy and Kid Rock video, right? Maybe that's what's selling the tickets. I don't know. That's part of the Make America Healthy campaign. Maybe that's pushing the tickets. Maybe there is some Kid Rock thirst going around. Like, I feel like after Bad Bunny performed, there was a lot of, like, you know, middle-aged moms who were like, I'm thinking Puerto Rico trip. What are you guys thinking? I'm thinking Puerto Rico trip. You know, this might be the kind of thing where it's like the conservatives would be like, what do you guys think? The Kid Rock concert? Should we just do it? Should we just go? I don't know his music, but like, we love this Trump stuff or whatever. Should we just go? It must be something like that. Either that or Robert F. Kennedy's brainworm has escaped the confines of his mind and started infecting others. And, you know, there is a mind hive situation going on. Anyway, all that being said, in other news, speaking of Kid Rock and God again, it's announced Friday that the artist has topped Billboard's Hot Christian Songs chart for the first time. He achieved it with his studio recording of Till You Can't, the Cody Johnson country hit he sang on the TPUSA show. Rock gets a co-writing credit on the tune now after contributing a new last verse telling listeners can give your life to Jesus and he'll give you a second chance till you can't. Fine. Good job, Kid Rock. Anyway, 8,000 bones or 5,000 bones for a Kid Rock ticket. Little rich for my blood, personally. I mean, you know, 500, but 250. I mean, these are all numbers that I would never associate with a Kid Rock concert. But if he's doing it, then, you know, I'm not going to say good for him, but wow. Oh, William, you went to a bar and the way people were thirsting on Bad Bunny was embarrassing and impressive. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't blame anybody for thirsting on Bad Bunny. He was doing some shit. All right. Everybody could take a note or two from just like the, you know, the energy he was given, the swagnaciousness of it all. You know, he's, oh man, Ikari, yeah, you're going to pass on the middle-aged beer bacchanal of Mr. Rock because yeah, one ticket is like, basically a monthly, you know, it's partial income. It's monthly income. It's crazy shit. The Trump machine starving. Yes. Oh yeah, Tom. That's probably something worth talking about too. And actually, I wanted to. So, well, I'll cover this other thing first, but maybe I was thinking about maybe doing a video on that, Tom. So if you guys haven't heard, there's a blockade. You know, America is starving Cuba. All of this relates back to essentially. America's history with Cuba has always been rife, but also Cuba has a lot of instances of like developing its reputation with other nations because of the way it has it's got a really robust medical system that often goes out and supports other nations during times of crisis. They do this just because, essentially. And I want to look a little bit more into the inner workings of Cuba's government and all that, because there are two sides of this. There are people that, you know, say this and that about the regime there. Ultimately, whatever, I would need to look more into the regime, but ultimately, whatever the feelings are of the regime, I don't think it changes the fact at all that America is embargoing, America is blockading, and it's really meddling with international affairs in relation to Venezuela's oil supplies and the way it's affecting its distribution. It's stopping commercial oil tankers from going to places, other places that are not American places. So it's, yeah, I mean, this is like peak America shit. It's kind of what we expect. Oh, and China helped Cuba on the DL. Yeah, I believe so. So there's a very interesting history there. And a big reason why, you know, Cuba's got a bad reputation in America, obviously, is because the revolution, which ousted the American-favored leadership, that was always a thorn in the side of American imperialism. So there's an interesting relationship there, and their approach to medicine is kind of interesting, and I want to do a video on that. So I'll probably cover that in a video. Oh, yeah, YouTube mentioned you, censored you for Cuba being into the politics of the USSR, right? Yeah, they were definitely inspired by like the original blueprint of communism and things like that. But I don't think YouTube would like us saying those things. But anyway, what I got for us now, gang, I got us, like, look, this is the kind of sensitivity that you would typically find more right-wing people ascribing to more left-wing people. Sensitivity. Snowflakedness, as they sometimes refer to it as. Something that can absolutely be a strength in people when it comes to empathy and understanding. But then in other people, it makes them scaredy babies of snowballs. And that's basically what we have here. The New York Police Department basically was walking through a snowball fight and then got their fifis hurt when they got hit with the snowball. But don't take my word for it. Let's consult the video.
It was very disturbing. This was an attack on 2 New York City police officers.
What began as an organized...
Wow, this is very disturbing. Oh, man.
snowball fight in Washington Square Park began
So-
as an
2 New York City police officers.
So, okay, guys, this even happened at a organized snowball fight. Okay, so let's see how this vicious attack went down.
What began as an organized snowball fight in Washington Square Park has now escalated into a citywide dispute over whether what unfolded was harmless chaos or criminal conduct.
I don't, from the videos that I've seen, it looks like a snowball fight.
Those same videos show officers trying to back away from the melee, then scrambling for another exit as snowballs continue to be hurled at them.
They were surrounded by a group which they described as
Guys. Like, it's literally a group of happy people in the park having a snowball fight. It's a group of happy citizens. I like Mamdani saying it looks like a snowball fight. Like, yeah, they're getting hit because they're walking through the snowball zone. Don't walk through the snowball zone. Yeah, or pick up a snowball. Get in on it. This is on you. You walk through the snowball zone. Cops have never had fun in their life. Yeah, Kari, I think you're right.
by a group which they described as mainly a group
at them.
They were surrounded by a group which they described as mainly adults who were blocking both entrances of the park.
The two officers were responding to a disorderly conduct call at the park, where police union president Patrick Hendry says they quickly became target.
Guys, one of them was smiling as they were getting hit with snowballs. One of them, this guy's smiling. Look. He says, it's just a little snowball fight. He says, oh, it's just a little snowball fight. Come on. They don't even care.
Park, where police union president Patrick Hendry says they quickly became targets.
Just a snowball fight. No, this was ice chunks that was smashed on a police officer's head.
The union president says
Come on, man. Yo, this is the head of the police union. Oh my God, what a little weasel, dude. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. So these, you think these were snowballs? Yo, look at these snowballs crumble as they hit these dudes.
the two officers were responding to a disorderly conduct call.
Straight snowballs. Straight fucking snowballs. Lizard. Yeah, breaking. Police discovered what snow is made of. Holy shit.
Where police union president Patrick Hendry says they quickly became targets.
Just a snowball fight.
I love this guy.
This was ice chunks that
I love
was
this
smashed
guy.
on a police officer's head.
The union president
I
says
hate him,
rocks were
but I
also
love him.
thrown at the officers. The cops trying to escape the park.
Like,
shoved
look at
people
that.
aside
Look at
as
that.
they were followed
Yo.
by the crowd. Even
Dude. No. You're shoving motherfuckers for snowballs.
the cops
That dude's not even doing anything. Look at this happy, smiling man stumbling over some ice.
trying to escape the
Holy shit. This dude was basically just like smiling black man. Let me fucking take you
escape
out.
the park,
Holy
shoving
shit,
people
man.
aside.
Yo, okay, and not for nothing. Not for nothing. Okay? Akari says those are fluffy snowballs for babies. I'm in New Jersey. I'm aware of what kind of snow this is. It's the snow I have right outside my house right now. Okay? It's fucking puffy snow. This ain't the solid shit. This ain't ice chunks. There are no ice chunks, especially today. Come on now.
as they were followed by the crowd. Even backup officers are seen being chased down the street by the crowd as they arrive to help.
That's sick.
The individuals who did this need to be identified,
No, shut up. The individuals who did this need to be captured. We need to put them in a big, big net. The individuals who did this need to be put in a giant net and punished for their crimes of bullying.
Backup officers are seen being chased down the street by the crowd as they arrive to help.
The individuals who did this need to be identified.
Yo, that guy on his radio. Red Rover. They got snowballs. Send the snowball machine over. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Identified, captured, arrested, and then prosecuted by a Manhattan DA's office.
Police say the officers were taken to the hospital with head, face, and neck injuries. Hendry says they're still dealing with pain and
Head, face, and neck injuries. Show me one bruise. Show me one bruise. Show me one boo-boo. I swear to God, show me the picture of the boo-boo. Like, not only are you getting hit with snowballs, you are in your big puffy jacket. I don't know, you got a flak jacket on or something. I don't know what the fuck you're wearing. Like, show me one boo-boo you got. I gotta see the boo-boo pics.
head, face, and neck injuries. Hendry says they're still dealing with pain and headaches. Police releasing these images.
Pain and headaches. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine headaches? Oh, yes. Oh, such a headache. Oh my gosh. These motherfuckers make life a headache for everybody else. Now look at this. They say this guy with just a big snowball. There's ice in there. It's a rock. Rah. That's a fucking big ass snowball. Shut the fuck up. That shit crumbles right apart.
Images of two suspects involved, asking for the public's help to identify them. The mayor says there should be no criminal charges, instead highlighting the treatment all city employees deserve.
They and our entire city workforce deserve to be treated with respect.
And while the mayor dismissed the incident as something less serious, his own
Okay.
police commissioner Jessica Tisch called it disgraceful and criminal. In Manhattan, Louis Finley, New York 1.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just such baby town shit. This is some piss baby wow. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. That's a dumb one. But it just goes to show you how little it takes. Like, it's so funny, the double standard when you think of it. Like, what it takes to convince people that something is unjustified violence when police do it to a citizen versus unjustified violence when a citizen does it to a police officer or something, right? Like, this was not a violent scene. These motherfuckers walked into a snowball fight, an organized snowball fight. I would expect to get hit with some snowballs. I would expect for it not to be easy to find the organizer and figure that out. And that's, you know, I mean, it's so dumb. The double standard is insane. Like, we've got people justifying ICE murders, and those same people would look at something like this and go, this is snowball violence. These people need to be executed for their merriment. We cannot have this. I don't know, man. It just the cognitive dissonance that we experience every day now. Every day, the cognitive dissonance it's just oops, all psychic damage. Like, ay caramba, I can't do it. Oh, YouTube's on the old censor spree again? Jeez Louise. Look, now I'll tell you what I can tell you guys about. Smart technology. Now, we've got a particular person in our server who's so against smart technology, and I love them for that. And this story immediately made me think of them. Because smart underwear, it's coming around, and it's going to unlock the secret of human flatulence. Now, I don't think that this is Bluetooth connected undies, okay? So, Lizard, yeah, this one is for you. This one is for you. Unfortunately, it's not underpants that you could run Doom on. Although, I don't know. Let me walk that back before we get into the story. Let's definitely see if these are underpants that you could run Doom on. So, smart underwear could help unlock the secret of human flatulence. An intrepid team of scientists has created smart underwear to measure human flatulence in a bid to better understand our farts. And now, I think you download a virus onto your fart measure pants. That'd be insane. Yo, you get a virus on your fart measuring pants that turn them into fart producing pants. So somebody, like, you get a fart virus. All farts. Anyway. Now, you may be wondering, why are they trying to harness the power of farts? Don't be silly. This has some actual, biological implication. And it's like a biology study. Okay, this is school stuff. This is smart stuff. So whether you're breaking wind, farting hard, or just letting out a quick toot, flatulence is, whether you want to admit it or not, as much a daily necessity as breathing. I guess I'd never thought of it like that, but that's 100% true. If we didn't fart, we would pop. But exactly how often the average person lets one rip and what that says about their body is something of a mystery. We don't actually know what normal flatus. Oh, that's like the scientific word for flatulence? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Can we get a...
Flatus.
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 That's a great word. Gas in or from the stomach. It's a fart. It's a fart.
Flatus.
That's the best word. Oh my gosh, what a fun word. I love when you find a great word. Flatus. Anyway, we don't actually know what normal flatus production looks like, said Brantley Hall, an assistant professor at the University of Farts. I'm just kidding, it's the University of Maryland, in a statement. Flatus is the technical term for a fart. Well, I couldn't wait for that article. I needed to know right now. Without that baseline, it's hard to know when someone's gas production is truly excessive, he added. Smart underwear, a wearable device co-created by Hall and his colleagues, could help provide an answer to the pungent question. Hall has applied for patents related to the technology and is co-founder of a company that has licensed it. Yes, Flatus the cloacus. God damn it. You ever start reading a comment and then you're like, shit, that's a crazy thing that I just said. Same thing, equals the University of Farts. Thank you, Akari. I agree 100%. I know nothing about colleges. I know nothing about the collegiate world. So if I'm insulting anybody from University of Maryland, tee. I'm just kidding. I apologize. It's not the University of Farts. If you're from the University of Maryland and you're in this stream, you are not from the University of Farts. You yourself are not Flatus. Others are Flatus. Understood? Okay. So, the smart underwear was created by Hall and his colleagues. And, pungent questions will be answered. The wearable isn't truly underwear, but rather a device that snaps onto garments and uses chemical sensors to track intestinal gas, especially hydrogen, which is produced by microorganisms in the gut. Typically, farts are a mix farts are a mix of microbe-derived hydrogen and occasionally methane, as well as carbon dioxide and that sweet O2, produced by the body. So, could you breathe farts? Yes. Scientifically, it sounds like you could, because there is oxygen. Nobody tests that. Oh, is that the device? Wait a minute. Is this the device right here? Oh my gosh, someone buy this for the president. We the people deserve to know. I know, Lizard, right? Yo, he definitely has overactive farting. Are you kidding me? He eats a lot of like Mickey D's and stuff. There's no way. His gut biology must be deadly. I can't. Oh, I don't want to think about this anymore. I hate myself. Okay. In a study of the device, Hall and his team found that healthy adults fart some 32 times a day. Wow, that's higher than I thought. Though some tutored a mere 4 times, while others passed when 59 times. What did you guys think the average flatulence was going to be? I did not think 32. 32 sounds like a lot. Supposedly, Dems had a thermal cam on Trump to see his crap. Oh, gosh, I hope so. Akari, you thought 60 farts a day? Maybe I'm just... You're right, sleep farting. Oh, Eine kleine Nacht farten. Eine kleine Nacht flatus. I didn't think about that. Good gut health would equal like 60 farts. Oh man, this is. I didn't think my brain would be. What about Queef's Kermit? Now I don't think because Queef is very different. You're not getting gas. That's more of an expulsion of air. Right? You're not getting the gas out of that. Oh, this is the story we needed. Eine kleine Nacht flatus is a little night farting. A riff on Mozart's Eine kleine Nacht music. A little night music. You do not want a bacterial queef, Kermit. You don't. I mean, I've never had one, but it's never too early to start. I hate that I said that too. In the study, so anyway, 32 times a day. That's the average. Some are locked up with a 4 fart day. I think that feels low. But Hall and his team tested the device on 19 healthy adults who all wore it in their underwear for a week while they were awake, except when they... Oh, so these are day farts. These are not even night farts, Akari. These are straight day farts. Day farts. do not fart into the night silently. You're 100% correct. This would be a great opportunity if you think of any movies or books where you could replace one word with fart, and it would be really good. Drop that in the chat. I always love things like that. That being said, 8 crazy farts. You know, I mean, I don't know why that was the first one I thought of, but that could be one. That being said, Hall and his team tested his device on 19 healthy adults who all weren't in their underwear for a week while they were awake, except when they were engaged in heavy exercise or traveling. In another experiment, 38 participants wearing the device followed a special low-fiber diet for 4 days. On day 4, the researchers gave these participants fiber supplements, which made them produce more hydrogen gas, to see if the smart underwear could tell the difference. As hoped, the smart underwear detected the heightened microbiome activity in the presence of fiber. According to a paper describing the study, which was published in Biosensors and Bioelectronics X. Yeah, fearless fart like no one is listening. Absolutely. Dance like no one's watching, fart like no one's sniffing, sing like no one's listening. Shit like your septic tank can handle it. Just do it. Just absolutely do it. Akari, I farted during wedding vows when I was squatting in the main church aisle recording the wedding as a videographer. Does that count? Yo, Akari, you could not have said a more relatable thing to me as a professional videographer in my normal day life. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Like, farting during a filming set? I fart all the time. I've farted around some famous people. I've farted around Reba McEntire. I laid cables for one of her shows once. I've farted around Carolina Herrera, some fashion designer who I didn't know, but I farted around them. My farts have been to some interesting places. They all farted around me too. Oh shit. That's a great point. Your daughter let out a huge fart during her baptism, Kermit. I love that. Nothing makes me prouder than when my child does a huge toot. Since they're like a toddler, it's always funny. And then they look at me like, haha. And I can't help but smile too. It's funny. Farts are funny. I don't care what you say. Anyway, they tested their underpants, and yep, they could tell the difference. The range in daily fart frequency challenges, quote, the assumption that a median amount of flatus per day can adequately describe human physiology. Hall and his co-authors write in the paper, knowing how much the average person farts can help inform treatments for people who experience excessive flatulence or other problems. So, I mean, this is, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Someone's got to get up in there and measure the farts. So, salute to these guys for doing the job that not many others would. The smart underwear is just a first step, though. Hall also launched the Human Flatus Atlas. Yo. Click. Yo, this is oh my gosh, this is the Human Flatus Atlas. Yo, we find the best websites on this stream. I swear to God. This is the Human Flatus Atlas. All right, we'll come back to this. So the Human Flatus Atlas is to recruit and measure flatulence across the population. In particular, the researchers are interested in studying people who eat high-fiber diets but don't fart much, and people who fart a lot. I don't like the way they italicize that. They really want those. They're like, yeah, we really want those fart-heavy motherfuckers. Get in here. We got balloons, baby. We're filling them up with fart today. We've learned a tremendous amount about which microbes live in the gut, but less about what they're actually doing at any given moment, Hall said in the statement. The Human Flatus Atlas could help establish a population-wide baseline for flatulence, and that, in turn, could help researchers develop better treatments for gut health. Yo. I love it. I love it. Yo, Akari, you must tell your colonectomy surgeon about the Flatus Atlas. They might know about it. Yo, Confused Lizard, you're right. I just everybody's ad suggestions are not gonna be good. All right, Human Flatus Atlas gang, we've got to take a journey. We've got to take a journey into the Human Flatus Atlas. I've never seen something more appropriate for this stream. Here we go. This is Leroy Jenkum. Leroy Jenkum. Jenkum, am I right, gang? Guys, talk about that butt hash? You talk about that sweet butt hash? Are we going on? Oh, finally, a Jenkum drop. Okay, so this is the Human Flatus Atlas. Everyone farts, but what's normal? We're using wearable sensors to create the first atlas of intestinal gas. Where do you rank in the stank? It doesn't say that, but like, how do you miss that opportunity? They need me on this project. Because where do you rank in the stank is too good. I'm sorry. Okay. Your colonectomy surgeon said he openly farts in the house because it's natural and healthy. I'm about to tell everybody that I fart around. That's why I'm doing it, and that they're kind of keeping me down. Due to overwhelming demand, enrollment in the Human Flatus Atlas is currently paused. You can join the waitlist by clicking join the study and by completing the eligibility survey. We cannot guarantee that everyone will be able to participate. What? We can't even join? Everyone Farts, the prequel to Everyone Poops. Yo. Kermit. You know the deep, I mean, not even deep, that's a standard. That's a standard in the household right there. I think I've got 2 copies of Everyone Poops. Just because you get a lot of those when your kid's born. Anyway, it's not hot or not, it's fought or not. Wow. Okay, so don't even think about joining this. In Cajun, the foie is diarrhea, and they say fought instead of fart. That's the foie. That is so cool. What an incredible way to say diarrhea. I'm going to start doing that. I've got foie. The foie is the law. Overwhelming demand. I'm concerned for the interests of the average person. Yeah, I know, right? Like, we're only, like, okay. We don't get into the weirdest shit around here, okay? But we get into some funny, some weird corners of the internet, some weird things, right? We're only just learning about this. And it's already, like, overly occupied. Like, holy moly. For over a century, flatus data came from self-reports or invasive medical procedures. No one has measured flatus in everyday life. Published estimates hover around 10 to 14 daily flatus, but objective data from our wearable sensors reveal that it's closer to 30. So they're already myth busting. They've already like taken what we've known or assumed about flatus, and they've proven it wrong. The Human Flatus Atlas is a first-of-its-kind nationwide study using smart underwear technology to finally quantify the dynamic range of intestinal gas production and explore what these patterns reveal about gut health and the microbiome. So who's they're looking for? Yo, I farted for science. See, like, I want that. I want that sticker. I want that pin. I want that bragging right. I fart for so many worthless causes. I want to fart for something that means something. We can't sign up. You can sign up for the wait list. We can get waitlisted. We're recruiting participants across the full spectrum of gut activity. Whether you barely notice your digestion or you're convinced you're off the charts, we want to measure you. Every data point helps us understand what's actually normal. So, oh, these are so cool. These are so cool. Holy shit. Okay. Normal people, you think you're average. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Most people have no idea where they actually fall. Wear the sensor and find out. Helps to find what normal really means. And that's the I farted for science. These are obviously not real things that you get, but like, I like to think that you get, like you get the medal. So, oh yeah, Lizard, they might take special interest in your flatus, but you keep your flatus for yourself. That's Flatus is not something that you should feel obliged to send around to anybody who is willing or pursuing it. Your Flatus is sacred, okay? You do with your Flatus what you will. Sell yours in a jar for extra money? 2026 might be a spicy year. Then there's hydrogen hyper producers. You know who you are, or maybe you don't, and people have been too polite to say. Either way, we're looking for people at the height of the spectrum. If you're producing 40, 50 or more events per day, your microbiome has a lot to teach us, and calling them events. I'm calling my farts events from now on. Oh, I just had an event. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Lizard, that's such a good idea. Biodetection can all come from the Flatus. No more easy to copy fingerprints. Fingerprint scanners, face scanners, all old stuff. You got to fart to open your iPhone 30. I think that's such a good idea. Then there's Zen digesters. You eat fiber, you eat beans, and yet almost nothing. If your gut runs silent despite a diet that should produce gas, we want to know why. You might hold clues to microbial efficiency that science hasn't yet explained. Yeah, someone has the best microbiome. 100% Kermit. Someone is the best. Eligibility survey. Every human farts, but we know shockingly little about what's normal. Yep, okay, we read that. So you have to fill out the survey. You receive the smart underwear device by mail. No in-person visits required, and no need to return the device. Oh, you get to keep it. Well, that makes sense. After you farted all over their little device, they're like, nah, you just keep it. No, yeah, we lost money on that. It's fine. So you're going to wear the device on the outside of your underwear for at least 3 consecutive days for 24 hours each day. Dang. Logging your food using their mobile app. Oh, which includes taking photos of your meals for 3 days, including a brief survey after wearing the device to provide feedback on comfort. The incentives: discover your personal Flatus profile and see how you compare to others in the study. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. And your participation matters because you'll be the first nationwide effort to establish normal human Flatus patterns and contribute to breakthrough research that could transform IBS treatment and gut health understanding. Fascinating. Fascinating. So, yeah, this is the Human Flatus Atlas. Can I see? I want to see what this thing looks like.
Welcome to the Human Flatus Atlas.
It's not Flatus, it's Flatus.
Flatus. Flatus.
How am I supposed to trust you?
Welcome to the Human Flatus Atlas. My name is Brantley Hall. I'm an assistant professor in the University of Maryland. Here's the problem. We don't know how often humans fart.
True.
Previous studies asked people to estimate, and they guessed between 10 to 15 times a day.
Oh, we know all this stuff. We already... Oh, attachment guide. I got to see how you attach this to your...
Which is kind of towards the back.
It is. It is. It is. No.
Here's how to attach the smart underwear to your underwear. The smart underwear will work with almost any type of underwear.
Why is it?
Typically, it goes adjacent to the perineum, which is kind of towards the back crotch area of your underwear. Our best advice is to go lower than you would initially expect. A lot of people think it would go around here, but in fact, you would feel it here if you sat on it. In the ideal position, you'll bear...
Fascinating. Okay. How do you charge it? Does it charge with farts?
Charging takes about 15 minutes. And cable... and
USB-C, I bet. Okay. Well... Oh, look at that. That's fun. Yeah, it's pro bottom in the Balesa way. 100% William. Incredible. Snap on the inside, device on the outside. Look at that. Wrong, wrong, wrong. That's it. Collaborate. Looking for a collab? You want to do a collab here? Insane. All right, so that's the smart underwear gang. I mean, like, I that was kind of fascinating. I'm not gonna lie. That interested me. That's a strange I mean, what a field of study to be in. Yet today I've learned more about my farts than I've ever known, and there's so much more to learn. You know, these are the things we don't think about that make the world turn. Like, we don't think about like these are things that people need to figure out somehow. I mean, you know, who's the first person to like figure out something about the butt? I don't know. I don't know how these things get figured out. I'm not a medical person. Don't fart while laughing. It might not be a fart. That's a great tip. See, these are the tips that they won't tell you. These are the things that they just simply will not let you know. Now, let's see. I've got so many, because I have so many things to cover. Yeah, unk advice, 100%. I want to be in the room when the fart data broker pitches their data packet to insurers. Oh my God. You're right, Lizard. Holy shit. No. Okay. See, these are the things. This is why, Lizard, we need you in here. You keep us safe from the dangers of the world, because you're 100% right. Somebody is gonna take that opportunity, that fart data that they have, and say, we can't cover you because you fart 50 times a day. You're a liability. You cross the threshold, the premium threshold for farting. Like, oh, that's too funny. That was actually so awesome. In less awesome news, Hexeth's trying to strong arm AI companies into allowing them to use unmanned strike capabilities, things like that. You know, that lame shit. So we know Stinky Pete Keg's Breath is just a major piece of shit. In the 1880s, they used to use butt plugs to stretch the exit to allow poop out. Oh, my goodness. Well, speaking of no, Akari, I know it's not a joke. I've seen the poop habits of our historical ancestors. It's not good. It's not good. So speaking of turds that broke loose, Pete Hegseth, he warns Anthropic to let the military use the company's AI tech as it sees fit. And what does that mean for him? Well, it means basically, you know, AI kill squads. We'll go into it. So Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave Anthropic CEO a Friday deadline to open the company's artificial intelligence technology for unrestricted military use or risk losing its government contract, according to a person familiar with their meeting Tuesday. All right, so, man, you know, I have so many problems with AI and the government. It's, first of all, Trump is pushing for large, unrestricted use of AI. I really think that ballroom is a data center. You cannot convince me otherwise. And this all just pushes everything in that direction. They want to be able to use this technology as they see fit with no guardrails. So Anthropic makes the chatbot Claude and is the last of its peers to not supply its technology to a new U.S. military internal network, which we've talked about a little bit before, I think, but they basically use Grok. They use a military version of Grok, which is crazy to imagine that the military is using that piece of shit AI. I'm not even an AI guy, but holy shit, that one is fucked. Anthropic makes the chatbot Claude and is the latest of its peers to not supply its technology to a new U.S. military internal network. CEO Dario Amodei reportedly has made clear his ethical concerns about unchecked government use of AI, including the dangers of fully autonomous armed drones and of AI-assisted mass surveillance that could track dissent. So that's the idea here, right? Hegseth would like an automated kill system that can identify dissidents or whoever they see fit and, just have a drone go out and kill them. No sweat. Defense officials warned they could designate Anthropic a supply chain risk or use the Defense Production Act to essentially give the military more authority to use its products, even if it doesn't approve of how they are used, according to the person familiar with the meeting. And a senior Pentagon official who both were not authorized to comment publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity. The development, which was reported earlier by Axios, underscores the debate over AI's role in national security and concerns about how the technology could be used in high-stakes situations involving lethal force, sensitive information, or government surveillance. It also comes as Hegseth has vowed to root out what he calls a woke culture in the armed forces. So, man, it's gonna affect us all. And I've said this before, the anything that's used like in Israel, AI data centers, anything like that, technology, any of that stuff gets used and then sent over here. And then gets used on us. So that's just the way it goes. A powerful ICE Agents, what's up? How you doing? Why is your name ICE Agents on Twitch? What is up with that? A powerful AI looking across billions of conversations from millions of people could gauge public sentiment, detect pockets of disloyalty forming, and stamp them out before they grow, Amodei wrote in an essay last month. The person familiar called the tone of the meeting cordial, but said Amodei didn't budge on two areas he's established as lines Anthropic won't cross: fully autonomous military targeting operations and domestic surveillance of U.S. citizens. Now, I'm really hoping out that they hold out and they don't sell out to the government on this one, even though there's basically the government is threatening them, like telling them that they're going to be a national security supply chain threat if they don't comply. This is crazy strong-arming. The Pentagon objects to Anthropic's ethical restrictions because military operations need tools that don't come with built-in limitations, the senior Pentagon official said. The official argued that the Pentagon has only issued lawful orders and stressed that using Anthropic's tools legally would be the military's responsibility. And so basically, the Pentagon is saying that a third party having limitations on what they can do is not what they need. So, fine. Hopefully they drop the contract. We'll see what happens there. The Pentagon announced last summer, though, that it was awarding defense contracts to 4 AI companies: Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, and Elon Musk's xAI. All contributors to the ballroom, by the way, all donors. Each contract is worth up to $200 million. Anthropic was the first AI company to get approved for classified military networks, where it works with partners like Palantir, Musk's xAI company, which operates the Grok chatbot, also ready. And he says Grok is also ready to be used in classified settings, according to the senior Pentagon official. So the official noted that the other AI companies were close to that milestone. SpaceX, Musk's spaceflight company Tuesday, that recently merged with xAI, didn't immediately return a request for comment on Tuesday. So I'd be interested in seeing those. My thought would be that they'd go with Elon's thing like immediately, because they're all fascist buddies. Hegseth said in a January speech at SpaceX in South Texas that he was shrugging off any AI models that won't allow you to fight wars. Hexeth said his vision for military AI systems means that they operate without ideological constraints that limit lawful military applications, before adding that the Pentagon's AI will not be woke. Holy shit, these guys are just fucking babies too. Get like the woke thing. Like what the fuck? What the fuck, man? What is it with woke shit? I don't understand it. How would an AI even be woke in the first? Like, what does that even mean? Because, like, does woke just mean, like, yeah, not letting us do war crimes is woke. Thank you, Lizard. That is exactly what it means. The defense secretary said that Grok would just secure the unclassified Pentagon AI network called Gen AI Mill. The announcement came days after Grok, which is embedded into X, the social media network owned by Musk, drew global scrutiny for generating highly sexualized deepfake images of people without their consent. Oh, and they want to use that in the fucking military as a goddamn tool of war. Like, holy shit. OpenAI announced in early February that it too would join Gen AI Mill, embracing service members to use a custom version of ChatGPT for unclassified tasks. No way that this could end horribly. So Anthropic is saying it's more safety-minded. They said in a statement on Tuesday's meeting that I continued with good faith conversations about our usage policy to ensure Anthropic can continue to support the government's national security mission in line with what our models can reliably and responsibly do. It's long pitched itself as the more responsible and safety-minded of the leading AI companies. The leader quit OpenAI to start the company, so that's, you know, maybe says something about OpenAI safety there. The uncertainty with the Pentagon is putting those intentions to the test, according to Owen Daniels, Associate Director of Analysis and Fellow at Georgetown University Center for Security and Emerging Technology. Anthropic's peers, including Meta, Google, and XAI, have been willing to comply with the department's policy on using models for all lawful applications, Daniels said. So the company's bargaining power here is limited, and it risks losing influence in the department's push to adopt AI. In the AI craze that followed the release of ChatGPT, Anthropic closely aligned with President Joe Biden's Democratic administration in volunteering to subject its AI systems to third-party scrutiny to guard against national security risks. So Anthropic itself has been at odds with the Trump administration. So that might be the one thing that helps in this situation. It would not be the first time Anthropic's advocacy for stricter AI safeguards has put it at odds with President Donald Trump's administration. Anthropic needled chipmaker NVIDIA publicly, criticizing Trump's proposal to loosen export controls to enable some AI computer chips to be sold in China. The AI company, however, remains a close partner with NVIDIA. I mean, everybody's in bed with NVIDIA, and they're one of the worst companies in the world. They're doing the devil's work, so shit. Trump's top AI advisor, David Sachs, accused Anthropic in October of, quote, running a sophisticated regulatory capture strategy based on fear-mongering. So they're basically saying, you guys are scaring everybody to use your service. And that's the whole thing, which is silly. Anthropic hired a number of ex-Biden officials soon after Trump's return to the White House, but it also tried to signal a bipartisan approach. The company recently added Chris Liddell, a former White House official from Trump's first term, to its board of directors. The Pentagon's breakneck adoption of AI shows the need for greater AI oversight or regulation by Congress, particularly if AI is being used to surveil Americans, said Amos Toe, senior counsel at the Brennan Center's Liberty and National Security Program at New York University. Quote, the law is not keeping up with how quickly the technology is evolving, Toe wrote in a post on Blue Sky, but that doesn't mean DOD has a blank check. And that is like the big problem that we see all the time. Law just does not move at the same speed as technology. Law is slow and like meant to be exact and precise, and technology is fast and explosive, and you know, it comes up fast. Technology is great. We're in a weird spot with it right now. We'll see where AI goes. Right now, at least it's not super profitable. But, you know, we certainly see a lot of our resources going to AI. Now, let's end the night here with a fun story, okay? A little bit of Hope Corps. And I've got a good one for us today. Give me one moment. All right. So check it out. I want to tell you guys about something silly that's going on that can make us feel a little better about the world. So, apparently, ICE agents keep accidentally shooting themselves. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can it be that ICE agents are accidentally shooting themselves? I mean, they've only displayed some of the worst training we've ever seen. We know that they're accepting some of the worst trained individuals. And as a matter of fact, we even just heard from an ex-ICE official the other day about how the training program is basically teaching people to violate people's rights and to disregard the Constitution. So, yeah, it does not surprise me that these dummies are shooting themselves by mistake. Let's look into it, though. Maybe there's, maybe there's a good reason, two sides to every story, right? We go in with an open mind, and we will be mocking them. I can guarantee you that. Anyway, ICE agents keep accidentally shooting themselves. 3 federal immigration agents accidentally shot themselves in the leg during routine training exercises within 2 days last year, according to internal documents reviewed by Newsweek. A 4th incident involved an accidental taser discharge inside an immigration and customs enforcement office. Why is this shit going off in the office? Is this like the fucking the desk pop from the other guys, where they tell the guy to shoot the gun off in his office? Like, why the fuck are you discharging your taser in the office? What? Holy shit. Anyway, all 3 firearm discharges occurred during quarterly training sessions while agents were holstering their weapons, a routine but potentially high-risk moment in firearms handling. Holstering the weapon? I mean, I'm not a weapon guy, but like, is holstering the most dangerous part? Is it really? Are you that prone to shooting yourself? No one was killed in the incidents, and all injured personnel were treated and released, according to internal incident reports obtained by the watchdog American Oversight through a Freedom of Information request and shared with Newsweek. 2 former senior ICE officials told Newsweek that accidental discharges were not uncommon and often involved experienced agents rather than new hires. That's not what I expected. Newsweek has contacted the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees ICE, for comment. Holstering at the end of, like, exercise, still horrible. Like, yeah, it's horrible gun handling, right? Like what? I figured that would be the... Like, at that part, you're putting it away, your safety's on, right? I don't know. Gun people, let me know. ICE has undergone a rapid expansion, with the Department of Homeland Security announcing in January that the agency had hired more than 12,000 new agents. ICE was supercharged with billions in funding after the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act in July. All 4 incidents reviewed by Newsweek came before the passage of President Donald Trump's flagship domestic legislation. Get out of here. Amid its hiring surge, ICE has faced scrutiny over a spate of accidental discharges and safety lapses among its agents, raising questions about whether the agency can maintain rigorous training and oversight while rapidly expanding its workforce. The administration frames the expansion of the workforce as a fulfillment of Trump's 2024 campaign promise to carry out mass deportations, but critics warn that rapid growth could exacerbate operational risks, and like we said before, this is why you don't approach things like in this fast and loose with a sledgehammer kind of a way. You do things surgically and precise, and if they take longer, that's fine. But you do it right so you don't hurt people. Jeez Louise. ICE and Border Patrol have faced a litany of allegations of excessive use of force, claims of racial profiling, and denial of due rights process. The agency sparked global outrage, and federal agents shot and killed Renee Good and Alex Preddy on the streets of Minneapolis. So a Homeland Security investigator, or a Homeland Security investigations employee, accidentally shot himself during a routine firearms training session at the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office range in Clayton, California, according to internal agency documents. The employee was injured, but reported to be in stable condition. So the incident occurred on March 18th of 2025 around 2 p.m., according to internal ICE reports. And the employee supervisor was on site when the discharge happened and provided immediate first aid. The employee was then transported to a local hospital by other agents participating in the training. ICE said the accidental discharge happened when the employee was holstering his government-issued service firearm during a quarterly training exercise. The bullet struck the right upper thigh and exited the lower portion of the same leg. No other injuries were reported. So officials noted that the employee showed no signs of impairment and there was no involvement of alcohol. The range officer reported the incident to the sheriff's office, which did not file a police report. HSI and enforcement and removal operations are both divisions of ICE that operate under the umbrella of DHS. Now, maybe not every single person needs to be armed here all the time, right? There's so many guns on these guys. On the same day, another HSI employee in San Francisco accidentally discharged their firearm during a routine quarterly exercise, according to the incident reports. The incident also occurred while the agent was holstering their weapon. The employee was struck in the upper thigh, treated on site, and taken to a local hospital. Officials confirmed no other injuries occurred and that the employee showed no signs of impairment again. Employee is conscious, breathing, and in good spirits, the report says. So this is them, oh, Jesus Christ, this is them detaining a demonstrator. Holy fuck. And on March 17th of 2025, on March 17th of 2025, an enforcement and removal operations officer accidentally discharged his agency-issued firearm during quarterly firearms qualifications in Baltimore. The bullet grazed the officer's upper thigh, leaving a wound about 3 to 4 inches long and 1 inch wide. The incident, yeah, I know, right? 6 guys on one unarmed protester. It's crazy. 3 guys to tackle and 3 to look like assholes on the outside, standing guard. The incident occurred around 11:04 a.m., prompting firearm instructors to immediately halt training activities on the range. First aid was provided on site, including gauze application and pressure to the wound. The officer was then transported by government vehicle to the University of Farts, the University of Maryland, Baltimore Washington Medical Center in Glen Breen, Maryland, where he was treated and released later the same day. Okay, the taser one. I gotta get this one. Whew. So a taser accidentally went off at the ICE office in Cary, North Carolina, according to internal documents. No one was injured in the incident, according to the incident report. ICE said a deportation officer gave a newly issued taser to an instructor to check it. While inspecting it, the instructor accidentally pulled the trigger. A single probe hit the carpet and the device ran for about 5 seconds. The officer collected the probe and wire afterwards. So Darius Reeves, so this is from former ICE officials and experts weighing in. Darius Reeves, who previously served as a field officer director for ICE's enforcement and removal operations in Baltimore and retired in 2025, said training accidents, while concerning, could occur. Accidental incidents do and will occur, unfortunately. Overall, I believe the training and safety mechanisms in place are standard and robust. Anytime there's a training incident that inflicts harm is a concern. Nevertheless, there can be multiple reasons for such occurrences. The officer or the equipment directly. These incidents are rare in occurrences at this time. It needs to be quantified over a period of time pursuant to this mass hiring process, he said. A 2017 research paper found that over 50% of unintentional discharges occurred during routine, non-high-threat tasks such as the handling and manipulation of firearms. Yeah, so this is, there's, these guys are senior people that are making these discharges. So it's not like it's from inexperienced agents flooding the field. So they actually have to do more qualifications than regular officers. But, fatigue could be a factor in high-tempo operations. Officers assigned to temporary details may work 12-hour shifts for weeks at a time without days off. So, I mean, you should not be on 12-hour shifts, like, with a gun and stuff. I know we do that to a lot of people, but holy shit. In high stress encounters, Mikowski added fundamentals matter most. You keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to use it. But yeah, even in controlled training environments, attention narrows and situational awareness is reduced. Decision-making shifts. So yeah, I mean, nothing crazy here. It's just ICE officers are shooting themselves in the leg by mistake. And it's just a little Hope Corps story right there. Okay? So we're going to leave it at that for tonight, gang. Thank you so much for joining on this Wednesday. And we're going to be back tomorrow night for a gaming night. So get ready for that. I've been cranking out video essays like a madman. I've got a bunch of new ones out there. If you haven't watched them yet, please go check them out. Hit them with a like, hype, any of that cool stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. Get some sleep, all right? We got work tomorrow and shit. So get that sleep. Thank you, guys. I love you all so much.